What's up YouTube, it's the Hobbyist here, and today I have finally gotten my hands on the Soulburner structure deck, one of the most hyped up structure decks for 2019. So I got this at my local game store, but they came a little bit late and I see that there are other videos of people unboxing it, but let's just get straight to it. So the Soulburner structure deck is supposed to be one of the most hyped up because this deck is supposed to be one of the tier 1 metas in terms of gameplays. So I tried out the deck on YGO Pro, having three structure deck profiles, which I will be posting up in a bit. But the equivalent of this deck, oh, look at that amazing artwork right there. So is that just like if you remember back in the day of Masters of Pendulum, that structure deck, when that came out and introduced Pendulum Summoning, that completely changed the game until, of course, time went by and there were other deck types that came out. So Salamangreat, this Soulburner structure deck is something similar. So here we have the really nice game mat that we have of all the Salamangreat monsters. And we have the actual deck here. So this is Salamangreat Helio. So let's crack this open. Beautiful smell. All right. Oh, we got a little bit of a dent or ding here. Oh well. Anyway, we're starting off with Salamangreat Helio. So this is a link monster that's link 3 with 2 or more fire effect monsters. If this is link summon, you can target one card in your opponent's spell and trap card and shuffle it into the deck once per turn during your main phase. If this card was link summon using Salamangreat Helio as material, you can target one face-up monster and one on the field and one monster in your graveyard, and the attack of the first target becomes equal to the other targets until the end of the turn. This is your boss monster, which is extremely great if you want to clear out the field by just removing one of your set traps from your opponent's field. So next we have the Exceed Salamangreat Mirage Stalio. So it's made of 2 level 3 monsters. You can detach one material from this card and special one Salamangreat monster from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except fire monsters, which your entire deck is going to be made of fire monsters. So, no biggie right there. So if this is Exceed summon and sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a Salamangreat monster, hint hint, Salamangreat Helio, you can target one monster in the field and return it to the hand. You can only use this effect of Mirage Stalio once per turn. So if you manage to get this out, you can either send back one card from the field back to your hand in case you need it, or clear your opponent's field. Next we have Salamangreat Bale Links. So it's made of 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monsters, and if this is link summon, you can add one Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand, and if a Salamangreat card you control will be destroyed, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So this is good at protecting any of your cards in the graveyard if you end up using it. So now for the super rare, we have Salamangreat Gazelle. I think this is a little bit dark. Let me try to get more light here. So this is one of your major deck engines where if a Salamangreat is sent to your graveyard except Salamangreat Gazelle, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this is normal or special summon, you can send one Salamangreat card from your deck to your graveyard except Salamangreat Gazelle. So what you can do is that you have so many different combinations where you either summon this card and then you send a card to your graveyard and then you can special summon another Gazelle, or if let's say you do a link summon for like Salamangreat Bale Links, you can bring out Gazelle and then you bring out Helio. So next up we have Salamangreat Spinny. If you control a Salamangreat card, you can discard this card, then target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. If you control a Salamangreat monster other than Salamangreat Spinny and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. So this combo actually links up. These three cards are one of the main cards that will end up in the structure deck profile, which I will be posting up shortly. What happens here is that if you need cards to link summon, you can just discard this card, send it to the graveyard, and it links to Gazelle. Or if you want to bring it back to the field to do another link summon or exit summon, you can banish it. You can simply special summon this back and then do your link summon or exit summon in the extra deck. So now we have Salamangreat Circle. This is one of your main spell cards that you will also be using. You can add one Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand, and you get Gazelle or Spinny, basically any other Salamangreat card. Then you can target one Salamangreat Link monster you control that was Link summoned using a monster with its same name as material, and that Link monster is unaffected by monster effects. So this is a great card to have because it either sets up your hand for the next turn or for the current turn. Otherwise, if you're looking to make an attack or try to save your monsters, this can be played as a quick play spell. Next we have Salamangreat Roar. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while you control a Salamangreat Link monster, negate the activation. Your entire deck is going to be made of Salamangreats. So of course you're going to negate the activation, and you will also destroy that card. When this card is in the graveyard and a Salamangreat Link monster is link summoned to the field using a monster with the same name as material, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So this is one of the greatest cards that you can get in terms of negating effects. Now we have Salamangreat Raccoon. When your Salamangreat monster is targeted... Oh, the font is a little strange here. I'm not sure if you guys can see. Let's try to get it on focus. Yeah, it looks a little different, but anyway. It's targeted for an opponent's by an opponent's monster. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and those two monsters would battle and gain life points equal to the attack of the opponent's monster, and also your target monster cannot be destroyed by battle in your turn. When a Salamangreat monster destroys an opponent monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard while this card is in the graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. So this will be one of a good support cards. Next we have Salamangreat Mole. If you link summon this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand to your zone. If you control no monsters, you can banish this card, then target 5 Salamangreat cards in your graveyard and shuffle them back to your deck, then draw 2 cards. So this is great in terms of refreshing your hands, or if you need monsters back from your graveyard. So one of the greatest combos is you link summon with Bear Links, then you get to special summon this, and then you bring out Heat Leo. So these cards are really, this archetype is really great in like linking to all of the different combinations that you can have. Now we have Salamangreat Foul. If a Salamangreat monster except Foul is normal summon or special summon, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can use this effect of Salamangreat Foul once per turn and send one Salamangreat card from your hand or face up to the graveyard, then target one set spell card, and that set card cannot be activated this turn. Ooh. So this can actually jam your opponent's spell or trap cards against you. Now we have Salamangreat Beat Bison. If you have 3 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. Then you can target Fire Link monsters in your graveyard up to the number of face-up monsters your opponent controls and return them to the extra deck. Then negate the effects of your face-up cards your opponent controls until the end of the turn up to the number of cards you return. So it's a little bit complicated. Basically, you can special summon this boss monster if you have 3 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard. So this will be a good card if you want to have it in your deck as a boss monster. Now you have Salamangreat Mirror. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it from a normal draw, you can reveal this card and special summon it from your hand. If this card is in your hand, you can discard one other Salamangreat card and special summon this card from your hand. So this is a good special summoning card for the Cybers, for the Salamangreats. Now we have Salamangreat Foxy, one of the pair cards. If this is normal summon, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, add one excavated Salamangreat card to your hand and shuffle the rest to the deck. So if this is in the graveyard and a face-up spell card, you can discard one Salamangreat card and special summon this card, then destroy one face-up spell or trap card on the field. You can use this effect only once per turn. Now you have Salamangreat Falco. If this is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Salamangreat spell card, set that target to your field, and if this card is in your graveyard, special summon one Salamangreat. There, you can target one Salamangreat monster you control except Falco and return that monster to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. Now you have Jack Jaguar. If this attacks a defense monster, inflict piercing battle damage. So this is a good beat stick that if you want to keep in your deck. Also, if you control a link monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Salamangreat monster in your graveyard except Jack Jaguar and shuffle that into your deck, and if you do, special summon this card to your link monster that it points to. Now you have Salamangreat Wolvie. If this a monster that was link summoned during this card as material, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects for that turn. You can use this effect only once per turn and only once that turn. So if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can target one fire monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. If this card is added from your graveyard to your hand by an effect, you can reveal this card and target one fire monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So if you actually end up using this in your deck profile, then yes, it'll be good in refreshing your deck. Salamangreat Peril. When a monster declares an attack, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand and in attack position. If this card is special summoned, you can target one Salamangreat monster in your graveyard and this attack becomes that target's. You can tribute this card and gain 2000 life points. So not really one of the OP cards that we have, but this is a structure deck and they will be able to get you 2000 extra life points if you want to play it that style. Now the sister to Foxy, we have the Salamangreat Foxer. If you have 3 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and then target one Salamangreat link monster in your graveyard and one in your opponent's spell and trap zone and return that target monster from your graveyard to your extra deck, and if you do, destroy the targeted card in your field. So essentially what's happening is that you special summon your link monster and then you destroy your opponent's spell or trap. If a card is destroyed and if your opponent's spell or trap is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while this is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card in defense position, so you can bring this card back out to the field to do your extra deck summons. Oh, now we have another boss monster, which is True King Agnimazu, the Vanisher. If this card is in your hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand or face-up field, including a fire monster, and if you do, special summon this card. And if you do that, banish one monster from your opponent's field or graveyard, and if both destroyed monsters were fire, if this card is destroyed by the card effect, you can add one non-fire worm monster. So this is a secondary card that you can have. Now we have Dogoran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. This is a dinosaur card. Flame Veil Fire Dog. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon one fire monster with 200 or less defense. Fencing Fire Ferret, another beast type fire. Infernal, one of the classic fire cards. And the most hyped up card, a common Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, the ultimate card that you need in your deck. When a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, this is a quick effect. You can discard this card and negate that effect, which means you can basically jam your opponent when they want to add a card from their deck to their hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from their deck to their graveyard. This is basically almost every single Yu-Gi-Oh deck right now. And you want to add a card from your deck, or you want to special summon anything that's important, discard this card and you stop their deck. Sorry, I hit the camera right now. So this is one of the main reasons why you get this Ash Blossom deck. Now you have the Red Resonator, another tuner, the Volcanic Shell, 2 Volcanic Shells actually, Format Skipper. Now back to the Salamangreat spells. So this is an equipped Salamangreat Claw, equipped it only to a Salamangreat monster, and the monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, and if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. So this is quite a buff. Now we have Salamangreat Sanctuary, one of the bigger cards, one of the more important support cards that we have. If you link summon a Salamangreat Link monster, you can add one Salamangreat Link monster you control with the same name as the material. During damage calculation, if your monster battles, you can pay 1000 life points and target one Link monster you control, make its attack 0, and if you do, gain life points equal to its original attack. So Salamangreat Heat Leo has 2300 attack, and if you do need it, you can gain 2300 life points. This is a field spell. Now we have Will of the Salamangreat. During your main phase, you can special summon one Salamangreat card from your hand or your graveyard. Then you can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, then target one Salamangreat link card you control that was link summoned using a monster with the same name as material, and special summon Salamangreat monsters from your hand or graveyard in defense position up to the number of that monster's link rating. So 3 links, 3 monsters. Then you can use this card only once per turn. Monster Reincarnation, one of the fun reprints. Circle of the Fire Kings. Transmodify. Link Bound. Target one link monster you control it, or in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, draw cards equal to its link rating. Oh, this is quite an interesting spell card. Magic Planter. Send one face-up continuous trap you control to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. Now, the trap. Salamangreat Rage. Activate one of these effects, send one Salamangreat monsters from your hand or face up to the field to the graveyard, then target one card on the field and destroy it. Target one Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster, and destroy cards your opponent controls up to that monster's link rating. Oh my, if you combine this with Heat Leo, you can destroy 3 monsters. Salamangreat Gift. The Transmigration Prophecy. Target 2 cards in the graveyard and shuffle that card into the deck. Threatening Roar. Oh, this is quite an old card. Your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn. Break off Trap Pole. When a link monster links summon, destroy all monsters on the field that are not linked. Backfire. Gozen Match. Each player can only control one attribute of the monster and send all other face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. This is an interesting card to have maybe in your side deck, because these days most people, they play a certain archetype which would have the same type of monsters. But you know, never know when you might need this. So now we have a common Salamangreat Heat Leo. You actually have 2 copies of this very well designed deck. Flame Administrator, 2 Cyberse monsters, and all link monsters you control gain 800 attack. And a Dual Little Chimera. All fire monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense, and all water monsters lose 400 attack and defense. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 fire monsters in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So this is an interesting card, but I'll only keep one of them in the structure deck profile. So that's about it for this video. Look out for the next video, which has the 3 structured deck. It's in a separate video, because this unboxing has been already 20 minutes and you probably don't want to look at it for too long. So in the next video, I'll be showing you how to combine these 3 structure decks into a budget profile, but unfortunately it's going at $20 each, so it's not really budget anymore. Hopefully if there's reprints, and it'll go back down to $10 a deck. I got these decks at quite a premium price, unfortunately, because I wasn't able to pre-order it. They ran out of pre-orders. So comment below, let me know what you are interested in the Salamangreat, why you think is the greatest, or if there are any strategies that you might be having. So like this video and subscribe.